All right, so are you ready to kind of unlock this secret code of smooth interactions? Because today we're diving deep into something you specifically requested, um, English greetings and introductions. We've got a guide here, and let me tell you, it's way more fascinating than I initially thought.
Yeah, it's funny how we often overlook these seemingly simple interactions, but they really are the foundation of building connections.
Absolutely. Like, imagine walking into a room full of new faces at like a networking event. How you greet and introduce yourself can totally make all the difference. And this guide dives right into these nuances, starting with something as basic as like a hello.
Yeah, what's fascinating is how much weight, culturally, even a simple greeting carries. The guide highlights the importance of those time-specific greetings, like a good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It seems straightforward, but it actually speaks volumes about your awareness and courtesy.
You're acknowledging the flow of the day, I think, and also showing respect for the other person's time. I've definitely noticed that in more formal settings.
Exactly. Like, think about it. If you meet a CEO first thing in the morning and you just throw out a casual, hey, it might come off as a bit too informal. But a good morning shows respect for their position and the context.
It's all about reading the room, right? Now, what about that classic how are you dance? The guide actually suggests some interesting alternatives to mix things up.
I actually use these alternatives quite often. Instead of just the standard, how are you, which can sometimes feel like a reflex, I'll try something like, how's your day going? Or how have you been?
Do you find that people respond differently when you use those variations?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems to invite a more genuine response because it feels less like you're just going through the motions.
You're signaling that you're genuinely interested in hearing about their day.
Right. And the guide also gets into the art of self-introductions, which can be a bit nerve-wracking for some people.
Oh, yeah, I can relate to that. I remember this one time I walked into a conference, completely forgot how to introduce myself, and I just blurted out something awkward like, hi, I'm here.
We've all been there. The guide breaks down self-introductions into these manageable steps, even offering different levels of formality.
It's like having a cheat sheet for those initial interactions, which can be super useful when you're feeling a bit flustered. The guide even reminds us of the importance of a simple please when asking for someone's name. May I have your name, please? It seems small, but it makes a world of difference.
It's interesting, isn't it? In many cultures, directly asking someone's name can be considered rude. It's seen as too forward. Adding that please just softens the request and shows respect for the other person's boundaries.
It's a subtle way of acknowledging that you value their information and their time. Speaking of subtle cues, the guide also emphasizes how we respond to introductions. It's not just about saying nice to meet you and moving on.
Exactly. It's about going a step further and showing that genuine interest. Imagine someone says, nice to meet you, Sarah. Instead of just a generic response, you could try something like, it's a pleasure to meet you, Sarah. I love your name. Have you lived here long? It just adds a touch of warmth and personality.
You're opening the door for a more engaging conversation, instead of just exchanging pleasantries. Now, the guide also dives into how to ask about someone's job or role, which can be a tricky area to navigate.
It is, because you want to show interest, but you don't want to come across as intrusive or like you're fishing for information.
Right. The guide provides some really helpful examples, ranging from general questions like, what do you do, to more specific ones like, what's your role at company name?
And what's fascinating here is that your choice of question can actually subtly influence the direction of the conversation. A broad question like, what do you do, might invite someone to talk about their passions or their overall career journey. But a more targeted question keeps the focus on their current role within a company.
So it's about being mindful of the kind of conversation you're trying to initiate. You don't want to accidentally launch into a full-blown career interview.
Exactly. It's all about reading the cues, engaging the other person's level of comfort and willingness to share. And this is where active listening becomes so crucial. It's not just about asking the right questions. It's about genuinely absorbing what the other person is saying and responding in a way that shows you're engaged.
Oh, I've definitely been on the receiving end of conversations where the other person's clearly just waiting for their turn to talk. It feels so impersonal.
It does, and it makes you question whether they were even listening in the first place.
Yeah.
The guide actually have a whole section on active listening techniques, which I think is brilliant. He encourages you to make eye contact, nod, ask clarifying questions, and really try to understand the other person's perspective.
Those are such great points. It's like you're building a bridge of understanding between yourself and the other person. And I think that's something we can all benefit from practicing, whether we're at a networking event or just chatting with a friend.
Absolutely. And you know what else the guide emphasizes? The importance of a good exit strategy. It might seem trivial, but how you say goodbye can leave a lasting impression.
I know, it's like the final chord of a song. You don't want to just fade out abruptly. The guide suggests using these warm, positive phrases like, "It was lovely meeting you," or "I enjoyed our conversation. Let's connect again soon."
Those are great examples. Even a simple, have a wonderful day or take care can go a long way. It's just leaving the other person with a positive feeling.
Hmm.
I think we often underestimate the power of these small gestures.
It's like the cherry on top of a great interaction. As we're talking about all this, it strikes me that there's kind of a deeper layer to these greetings and introductions. It's not just about following a script or saying the right words.
Exactly. It's about something much more profound. The guide actually touches on this idea of charisma, and it really resonated with me.
Tell me more.
Well, think about the most charismatic people you've ever met. The ones who just light up a room and draw people in effortlessly. What do they all have in common?
That's a good question. I guess they have this way of making you feel like you're the only person in the room, like you're truly seen and heard.
Exactly. And I think that starts with those initial greetings and introductions. It's about being fully present in the moment, genuinely curious
Yeah.
about the other person, and radiating warmth and positive energy.
So it's not just about what you say, but how you say it.
Precisely. It's
Okay.
about the subtle cues we send through our body language, our tone of voice, and even our eye contact. And the funny thing is, a lot of this comes down to confidence.
Confidence, how so?
Well, when you're confident in yourself and comfortable in your own skin, it shows.
Hmm.
You're not afraid to make eye contact, smile genuinely, and engage in a meaningful way. And that confidence is contagious. It draws people to you.
It's like you're saying that true charisma isn't about putting on a show or trying to be someone you're not. It's about tapping into your own authentic self and letting that shine through.
Exactly. And, the guide actually offers a great example of how all these elements can come together in real-life conversation. It's like a sample script that you can use as a starting point.
Oh, that's a fantastic idea. It'd be helpful to see how all these tips and techniques translate into a natural flow of conversation. Do you want to try role playing it?
Sure. I'll be Emily, the new colleague at a company event.
Okay, great. Let's give it a try. Hi there. I'm host speaker's name. Nice to meet you.
Hi, host speaker's name. I'm Emily. It's great to meet you too.
So, Emily, what brings you to this event?
Well, I'm new to the company, and I'm excited to meet everyone. I work in the marketing department.
Oh, wonderful. I'm in marketing too. What kind of work do you do specifically?
I focus on social media strategy. It's a fast-paced world, but I love the creativity and the challenge of connecting with our audience.
That sounds fascinating. I'm more on the content creation side of things. We should definitely connect later and swap ideas.
Absolutely. I'd love that.
Well, Emily, it's been so nice chatting with you. I'm going to grab another drink, but I hope we get a chance to talk more later.
You too, host speaker's name. Enjoy the rest of the event.
See, that felt so natural and effortless. I think the key takeaway here is that it's not about memorizing lines or trying to force a connection. It's about using these tips and techniques as building blocks to create these authentic and engaging interactions.
Right, and it's about being present in the moment, really listening to what the other person has to say and responding in a way that shows you care.
Yeah, it's like we're piecing together this puzzle, right? Each interaction is a chance to learn something new and refine our approach and become even better at connecting with the people around us.
Exactly. And what strikes me as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, the guide doesn't just give us these surface level tips. It prompts this deeper reflection on how we approach relationships as a whole.
That's such a good point. It's not just about mastering greetings and introductions. It's about cultivating a mindset of genuine connection and engagement.
Right, like think about it. When you approach someone with genuine warmth and curiosity, it sets this positive tone for the entire interaction.
It makes the other person feel valued and respected, which creates a foundation for a more meaningful connection.
And isn't that what it's all about? Building these bridges of understanding and creating a sense of belonging, whether it's professional or in our personal lives.
Absolutely. And the beauty of these skills is that they're transferable to any situation.
Yeah, whether you're meeting a potential client or striking up a conversation at a party or just even interacting with the barista at your coffee shop, those first few moments of connection can make all the difference.
They can really set the stage for a positive experience. And I think it's a powerful reminder for all of us that even the smallest interactions have the potential to really brighten someone's day.
I love that. It's like we're all part of this web of human connection, and each interaction is a chance to kind of weave in a thread of kindness and warmth and genuine engagement.
Well, on that beautiful note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into this world of English greetings and introductions.
It's been a pleasure.
I feel like we've uncovered so many valuable insights that our listeners can start using right away.
And here's a final thought for you. Think about the last time someone made you feel truly seen and heard in a conversation. What was it about their approach that made such a positive impact? Chances are, it wasn't just the words they used, but the genuine warmth and interest they conveyed.
That's such a beautiful challenge. It's a reminder that we all have the power to make a positive difference. So until next time, keep those conversations flowing and those connections growing.